If tonight's considerations don't go as you might hope them to go, what is the backup plan for this big project?
We currently don't have one.
We had a timeline that we had to work with, or we were going to run out of money. Are they going to say no, and am I going to have to change my name and move to Papua New Guinea? Sometimes the excitement of a good idea comes to someone and they're like, oh, that's so awesome, I want to do that. It's actually not about you, and it's not actually about your idea if your idea is good. It's about the people who are going to benefit from your idea.
And you know pretty quick if it excites people. Do people want to help? As soon as I heard the project, from the very, very beginning, I wanted to help.
If you can find an idea that inspires you, and then you can communicate that message to other people in a way that inspires them, things will take off.
There was a whole community of people that believed in us, and that gets you through knowing you're taking a big risk. Without taking that risk, you don't make something unique. You don't make something special.
When we were sampling people about is this a good business? Are people gonna buy into this? And I told people about it. The people who I could tell were customers were thrilled. They were like, yes, I want that, 100% I want that. And you hear that enough times, then you know you're onto something.
What can you compare this to? I don't know. It's a spa, kind of. It's a sauna, kind of. It's a spa sauna on a boat in the middle of a city.
The World War II barge is a stroke of luck. There are probably 4 or 5 moments in the history of this company where I can think that things really went our way, and securing this barge was one of them.
It was built in 1943 by the American Navy. Everything is overbuilt, sturdy as hell. It's been in the water 80 years this year. 80 years this thing's been in the water. You go down below, the inside of the walls are still galvanized, there's dust in the corners. We almost threw the towel in when we couldn't find the barge, and then this barge just falls in our laps.
We didn't anticipate to build something this big. We found a barge that was a unicorn, and we figured we have to go for it. Being able to envision that uniqueness really started with Steam Mystic. I was really in awe that this was made out of driftwood from a free sailboat. I walked away from that telling all of my friends. I loved it.
I built a sauna on a sailboat, and our investor went to it. And he experienced it before we even ever talked about money, and I think that he saw how unique and awesome it was. That established a baseline of construction quality, of trust, and I think his risk of unknown was, can this guy navigate the political landscape to get this job done?
If I felt that way, other people would feel the same. We could do it on a bigger scale so more people could enjoy it.
I think if we want to have truly unique and innovative spaces, there also has to be the economic business case. And if you can merge those things, then we're going to have way more of those spaces.
I don't think there's any investor in the world who would have treated us as fairly and helped us as much as Martin did. I think that the amount of risk that he took and the amount of faith that he had in this project and us being able to complete this project was immense.
We tried to go to the banks. We spoke with probably 40 investors, and no one was interested. No one wanted to back this project. We've kind of bootstrapped everything.
Not only were we trying to do this to create this unique space, to have this expressive design, but it made a very valid business case. And so the build cost justified the design. So you got the idea, people love it, you get an investor to come in. All right, well now there's all these other moving pieces. What are we gonna do for design? Where are we gonna put a barge? Where can we actually put the barge? What's the location? Okay, find a location that might work, but we don't have flotation, and going through the pieces and then realizing there's a regulatory body to this.
So now we're going to turn our attention to the application, the first application tonight, 700 Government Street. The rezoning is to amend the Inner Harbor Ship Point South District to permit a recreational facility use to allow a floating sauna. The development permit is for the construction of the floating sauna facility, and the matters for council's consideration are the support.
So we had to have the majority of city council vote yes on approving Havn to operate in Victoria's Inner Harbor.
A lot of aspects of this project are kind of in gray areas. I mean, we're a ship, but we don't carry passengers because we don't leave port. And we're a building, but we're not really a building because we're floating.
We had a timeline that we had to work with, or we were going to run out of money. Our public hearings kept getting bumped and bumped and bumped. And so it got to a point where it was just so frustrating because we'd actually started construction and we didn't even have approval yet because we couldn't afford to wait.
If they didn't vote yes, we didn't have a backup plan.
My name is Nick Van Buren, and I'm the main proponent for the application at 700 Government Street.
Thank you.
The Greater Victoria Harbour Authority is supportive of it in terms of aligning with their mandate. We'd like to believe that we can be part of sparking the change that can take place in that area.
If tonight's considerations don't go as you might hope them to go, what is the backup plan for this big project?
We currently don't have one, but yeah.
Okay.
So, any members of the public here who'd like to speak to this application? If you do, please come up to the podium. You have up to 5 minutes.
This is a small and incremental change that will be negative.
When I saw that boat, I thought it was an eyesore.
Europe has this wonderful way of engaging people in the community, and it's very healthy.
We need to support wellness.
This is a project that can help reconnect our population with the water.
This is going to be a luxury development that not everyone in this city is going to be able to afford.
Anyone else have anything to add? Very good. Thank you. All those in favor of adopting the zoning regulation? Thank you. Anyone opposed? That is indeed unanimous as well. Now you can applaud.
Thank you.
We just really believed in this project and believed it would be good for Victoria, and we believed council would feel the same once they understood the project, and they did.
We found ways that our design and what we wanted to do integrated seamlessly with the community planning documentation. There was actually all of these value alignments between what the city wanted to do with the urban space and the harbor and what we actually wanted to do for the city. And we got full supporting votes from every regulation body that we had to talk to. It took a long time and it was hard, and we almost threw in the towel a couple times, but we got there. Creativity and design and building unique spaces that change the landscape is something worthwhile doing. One time I was like, hey Bjorn, how many days you been here? He's like, I don't know, maybe like 64. I don't know what other builder you can convince to work 64 days in a row because he believes in the project.
It's a startup situation. Ask any startup. They'd go, oh yeah, that work-life balance? Nah. But it becomes your life, and you enjoy it. You're here because you want to be here.
A project like this isn't built by 3 people. It's built by an entire community. Without them, this would never been done.
Nick has always, in my mind, been a visionary. He's very unique in the sense that I'd like to say he dreams in reality, in the way that he comes up with these ideas that seem crazy at the time, but then he can actualize them and create them.
There's a couple times where I'm like, this is too hard. Like, I don't think it's gonna work. And then I looked at the alternative and I was like, I can't turn back because there's nothing waiting for me. There's like nothing waiting for me to turn back. So it's like, well, the only option is to keep going forward. I think you just gotta go on a limb, and if you believe in it and you're going for it, and you gotta be okay to carry the hardship of putting in a year's worth of work or whatever it is and failing and walking away from it. And if you're like, you know what, I could be okay with that, then you're prepared to fail, and then you can go all in. And when you do fail, you're ready to just go and try the next one. It takes a couple times. You're gonna fail, but just take some cracks out of it, and then, you're into it.